Okay, on Friday we were on our routine water patrol. Deputy Burkhart and I were operating the Sheriff's Office personal watercraft on the river. We were about 2 miles east of the location that we're at right now at Rogers Park. Deputy Burkhart and I were beached at the time. We had just finished eating lunch. We were beached there. We heard a female scream, "My baby." We turned. We seen a canoe overturned with a male on one side, a female on the other side, and we did not see an infant or a child. I started my jet ski, pushed it off of the bank where we were beached. Deputy Burkhart jumped on the back of my personal watercraft. We shot across the river, moved the canoe, which was overturned, out of the way, and we seen an upside down or capsized child safety seat. Deputy Burkhart was able to reach into the water, retrieve the child safety seat. We shot across the river to the beached area where it was shallower so we could do an assessment. And at that time, the baby had its eyes closed and mouth was closed, and it didn't appear that the chest was rising or breathing. We beached, began our assessment. The child then opened its eyes and began to cry. And at that time, we went ahead, secured the child with a personal flotation device, which was issued to the child but wasn't being worn at the time. And we transported the child to this location here at Rogers Park to meet Hernando County EMS for treatment.
Was it clear what had happened up to that point, how the canoe had flipped, and why the parents weren't able to get to that child?
That portion of the river, the river, 200 million gallons of water a day flow out of this river, so the current can be pretty swift and it's difficult for some people to navigate. There were some branches overhanging at that portion of the river, so they leaned in the canoe to try to avoid those branches and then capsized. And at that portion of the river, it's about 6-7 feet deep, and with the current, they were having difficulty trying to get to the child, so they were struggling as well to try to gain ground.
You talk about the baby. About how many months old? Very small baby or one?
The baby was 4 months old.
Oh wow, that's really
Yeah,
young.
very young.
What
Very young.
would you say to people that want to bring an infant as young as that out here to the river on the canoe?
Yeah, that would be a parent's call and a discretionary issue, but just know that in the state of Florida, all children under the age of 6 are required to wear a personal flotation device.
And what kind of went through your head when you saw the car seat in the water and you saw this child?
I'll take this one if you.
What was your
Okay.
head at that moment?
Okay, I'll let Deputy Burkhart, since he retrieved. Okay.
It happened so fast. The whole situation kind of went through about 1 minute. So it was, baby, and then like Deputy Snell said, he jumped on his jet ski, and it was just instinct. I couldn't even tell you what was going through our heads. It was just one after another. So thankfully, I was able to get a hold of the car seat with the current. Even with a jet ski personal watercraft, it's even hard to navigate that river with the current that it has on it. So it was a difficult task.
Can you expand a little bit more on how difficult it is? Because you're reaching into the water. I'm guessing the canoe and the baby seat, all that full of water, was that heavy? Or?
The car seat was pretty heavy. The mom was frantic. She was trying to look for the baby. I was trying to locate, where the baby was. The area that the canoe flipped, it was like Deputy Snell said, 6-7 foot deep. So it was hard for the mom to tread water to try to get the car seat upright and into a position that we could grab it. And due to the language barrier, it made it that much more harder to try to communicate to her, because once the baby was on board with me, she was trying to get on the jet ski to make sure the baby was okay, which almost, capsized the jet ski. So it was difficult.
It's obviously much more difficult to deal with the woman versus the dog in this type of situation. When you were safely on shore, what types of first aid were you giving to that child?
It was new to me. I usually, babies cry. When I didn't see the baby cry or anything like that, a lot of things were running through my head, how far upriver we were. When I saw the baby's eyes open and then start to cry, that was like a relief. And then we kind of just went from there and transported the baby back here.
Now, Deputy Snell, I know you've been the full-time Marine deputy here for not even a year that you've been full-time on the river here. I mean, Has anything like this happened since you've been full-time here in this last year?
No, not. And I had worked 10 years on the river full time or out in the Gulf or the river. I was a Marine before, but so out of all those years, I've never had anything happen like this. And I was fortunate that they're allowing deputies to come out and shadow to train. So without Deputy Burkhart's help that day, this would have really been a huge issue for myself, even being just the full-time officer. And that we were beached at the area where this occurred. You know, it's just a blessing. Everything worked out. It was fortunate that he was with me, that it occurred where it did. We were together, and like we said, we did it without thinking. You know, we just jumped on the one ski, shot across, so we're very fortunate.
How much does adrenaline, training, all that take place? Like you said, you didn't think a lot. It was just action. How much of that takes place?
You can't describe it. Anytime in that situation, there's no way to describe. There's no words to put to what adrenaline goes through your head. You know, afterwards, you kind of look back and you think about what you did, and you're proud of yourself. There's no words for it at all.
If families do choose to go out in the water, and maybe they have a young child or an infant, and they do take the proper safety precautions, are there any other pieces of advice you would offer them to try to make sure they can avoid something like this?
Just to be familiar with the type of craft that they're operating. This river, I know that there's been stories in the past of how congested it can be and how difficult it is to navigate. So depending on how confident you are with your experience is in a paddle craft or something of that nature, just be confident in your ability to navigate it safely in a congested area.
You guys met with the couple or the family at all since all this happened, or are you planning to?
We haven't. We've done updates and follow-ups just on the child's care because our biggest concern was the safety of the child and following up, but we have not spoken to the parents.
What's the latest on with the baby now?
The last I heard is that the child was in stable condition, so we're fortunate that was the case.
Anything else you guys would like to add that we haven't asked?
No,
I think that covered everything.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
All right, thank you guys.